Back here at Las Vegas Motor Speedway, after 12 laps, we have a red flag situation in the final race of the 2011 IZOD IndyCar Series, and 15 cars involved. Now, the tarp over Dan Wilden's car, they're trying to keep all the pieces and everything together there, and as they take it back to the garage area, and other cars, they've been able to just get on the hook, but obviously they needed a tow back for this one, as Dan's car flew into the catch fence. There is Danica Patrick's car. She is one of the 19 that escaped this crash. Let's go back and show you her onboard view of what happened.
And as a driver, when this happens in front of you, Eddie, as you know, we talked about it a moment ago, it's just reactionary time, and you hope that there's a clear path for you to go through. Now, as we see the car starting to touch and go airborne, as a driver, you're looking for a clean hole, but sometimes when you get to that clean hole, it is then filled with other cars or debris. But for Danica Patrick, she escaped this today, and she was very lucky.
Very lucky. But what happens in those circumstances is that at every split second, probably hundreds of thousands of seconds, are just enough to get you through that hole. So you're not looking at the car in front of you. You're probably 300 yards farther down the road, so that you can make it's not even a calculation, it's a reflex. It's like somebody throwing a ball at you, and you just see it at the last second and you move out of the way.
If you are just tuning in, that is Will Powers, the Lara, and there is Will leaving the medical center, and of course that means his championship hopes for the second year in a row are dashed. This one through no fault of his own, really, as the crash happened in front of him, and as many of these cars, they got swept up. And there's Dario Franchitti talking over with Tim Cindric, because Dario knows that he has clinched his third straight championship and fourth overall. Rick?
Dario, let's start off by talking about the accident. I mean, obviously, this was a concern of a lot of people, not just the fact that something could happen, but if it happened so fast. What was your view of everything?
My view was the back wing of Scott's target car, really. I was sitting behind Scott. I could see it was, within 5 laps, people were starting to do crazy stuff. And that early in the race, I don't want no part of it full stop, but I wanted no part of it there. I love hard racing, but that, to me, is not really what it's about. I said before we tested here, having driven the stock car here, this is not a suitable track, and we've seen it today. It's just you can't get away from anybody. There's no way to differentiate yourself, either with car or driver. You're just stuck there, and people get frustrated and go 4 wide, and you saw what happened. One small mistake from somebody, and there's a massive thing. So it's I hope everybody's okay. I don't know. I saw a couple of cars airborne in front of me, but at that point my focus was very much on trying not to hit Scott, and it's just, as I say, right now all I care about is that everybody is okay.
A lot of debris on the track. Obviously, you had to go through a bunch of that debris. How is your car?
The car's fine. The guys, the IndyCar Series, let us change the tires, so we've got 4 new Firestones on there. That's always our biggest worry in these situations, and so I'll be interested to see what they say now, what we're going to do. We've obviously lost a lot of cars. So we'll see what happens.
All right, once again, Dario able to get through safely, and now worried about everybody else.
Let's go on board and show you exactly what Dario is talking about.
And all the action starts up front, Marty. As you know, we just mentioned it's very difficult to try and avoid it. And as Dario was mentioning, he's just looking forward, trying not to hit the car that's in front of him or subsequent cars that are there. And luckily for him, he got through before everything started to go just upside down.
But it's also where you position yourself on the track. He was saying, he just said in his interview, he hated being around cars that he was uncomfortable with, and everybody was doing something crazy. So as you could see, he was already on the bottom of the track. If you're on the top of the track, that's where everything goes naturally. So you have more room to avoid things, and I think that was luck, but also a sign of experience. Stay down low.
All right, just a moment ago, the helicopter here on site lifted off. We do not know who is inside that helicopter at this moment, so we'll wait for word from IndyCar officials. But think good thoughts, folks. We're going to step aside here at Las Vegas Motor Speedway.